After our awesome stay at Lassen Volcanic National Park, where we hiked to beautiful waterfalls, enjoyed exploring hydrothermal areas, and even hiked to the peak of a volcano, we find ourselves heading west to our next national park. Redwood National Park and State Parks is a combination of 3 state parks and a national park located along the coast of Northern California. Together they protect 45% of all remaining coast redwood old-growth forests. These trees are the tallest, among the oldest, and one of the most massive tree species on Earth. Redwoods National Park was established in 1968, is 139,000 acres in size, and averages 500,000 visitors per year. Our first day in the park, we visited Jedediah Smith State Park, driving down a stretch of the Howland Hill Road, where we had intimate encounters with the towering old-growth redwoods. Where the trees grow really tall.
Welcome to Redwood National Park.
Well, we're going to hike the Stout Memorial Grove. In 1929, a lady named Clara Stout donated this 44-acre grove. It's supposed to be just absolutely beautiful. So what'd you think of that drive to get here this morning?
I have never been on a drive that was so beautiful and magical looking.
Yeah.
These trees are huge, and the moss and the ferns, it's such a dense forest, and then the sun peeking through with the beautiful rays. It was, I don't even have words to describe it. It was so magical.
Yep, she said it all. Wow, this is beautiful. So this is the Boy Scout tree trail, and there's some falls at the end, I think, called Fern Falls. It's 2.8 miles each way, so about 5.5 miles. This is our second hike today. We did the Stout Grove this morning, and we've promised ourselves we're not going to stop as often on this one, or we'll be here till dark. Up we go to see the Boy Scout tree. All right, Leslie says this is it. Wow. Look at that thing. That little sign up there says Boy Scout tree. Wow, this is by far the biggest one we've seen, I think. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that was cool seeing that big redwood. So we're going to keep going deeper, and there's some falls up here I think called Fern Falls. We're going to check those out and then make our way back. I hear some water up here, and I think we're getting close to the falls. Good morning. This is day 2 in the park. Yesterday we stayed in the RV all day. It poured all day long. So we decided to take a day off, and we're back at it today. We're in what's called the Prairie Creek Redwood State Park, and we're going to go into the visitor center, talk to them, and confirm a couple things we want to do in this area today. All right, after talking to the park ranger, we've kind of put a game plan together. So we came down the 101 and entered into the state park down here. What we're going to do is we're going to take the parkway and come up and do this Brown Creek Trail. It's very short, shouldn't take too long. And then come on up further and do what's called the Mormon Pond Trail right here, another short trail. And then come on up here and do the Hope Creek Trail to the 10 Tapo Trail. That one's 3.6 miles. And that ought to give us a pretty fun afternoon today. And then we're going to come back and do a big hike here in a couple days. But yeah, I think that's what we're going to do today. All right, we've made it to the Brown Creek Trailhead. And wow, there's some cool trees right here on the side of the road. There's the trusty old car. And look at that tree. Wow. Amazing. How beautiful this is through here. So we're right here at the trailhead, and we're going to come ahead and we're going to turn left at the fork and come up to this grove called the Schenck Grove. We may walk back in there and check that out, and then we'll come back to the trailhead. Wow, look at that thing. Looks kind of haunted, like Leslie said. We've made it to that grove I was talking about at the beginning of the trail. This is the Carl Alwyn Schenck Grove, dedicated in 1951. And it's a little loop, I think, and we're going to walk back in here and enjoy the beauty. Looks like a lot of the trees in this grove have names. This is the Frederick Law Olmsted Sr. tree right there. The Charles Sprague Sargent tree. Well, that's a big one. Back up to get the base of that. Ooh. George W. Vanderbilt. It looks like there's 21 of these markers. This one's the all the Schenck Old Boys of the Biltmore School. There it is, number 21. Well, we found another slug here. Hey there, buddy. How's life? Well, we've made it to our final hike of the day. This is the Hope Creek to 10 Tapo Trail. It says it's 3.7 miles. We just ran into some people that finished it and they said it was like 4.9. But we're going to start right here and come up, do the loop all the way around and back. They said it took them a little over 2 hours. You ready?
Yep.
Let's do it. All right, we made it to the loop section. Just ran into a nice couple that's hiked this many times, and they said they prefer to go to the left and make this loop in a clockwise manner. So that's the way we're going to go. We're going to go up Hope Creek and back 10 Tapo. This trail's got some elevation to it. Elevation gain here at the beginning. We've gone about a half mile, and it's just been a lot of switchbacks as we climb. Beautiful, but good workout. All right, remember that sign? Yep. We saw that about an hour and 40 minutes ago. We're going this way, back to the parkway. Well, we got about a, I don't know, half mile or so to get back to the parkway, but we thought we'd go ahead and kind of wrap up day 2 before we got back to the parkway where there's a lot of road noise. So we did these 3 hikes, and what'd you think of them?
The first 2, which was Brown Creek and Mormon Trail, both of those are pretty easy. So any age could do it, kids could do it. This one, this has a lot more elevation and a lot more up and down.
Yeah, about 950 feet elevation gain on the trail. I like the Brown Creek one an awful lot. That was a nice, pretty flat, beautiful trail. The second one was really short and I enjoyed it. You can tell it's a less traveled trail. It didn't have the scenery as these other 2 did.
Yeah.
You know, the one thing about these redwoods is, of course, they've got big bases to them, but you can't really capture the height of them in video or pictures. You just got to be there and looking up at them to really appreciate how tall they really are. All right, well, we're going to wrap up day 2, and yeah, we've still got some fun things planned.
Yep.
We'll see you later. Well, good morning. This is day 3 in the park, and we're hiking the Tall Trees Loop Trail today. This trail is about 4 miles in distance, and this is a permit trail, so we had to apply online. They have the gate lock. They give you a combination to get in, and I think they limit it to 50 vehicles per day. So this trail doesn't get as much use as a lot of the other trails. But yeah, we're excited to check it out. It's supposed to be one of the better trails in the park, so I'm anxious to compare it against what's been our favorite so far, which is the Boy Scout Tree Trail. we've made it to the Tall Trees Loop. And Leslie says let's do it clockwise, so we'll go this way. Wow, that's a big one right there. That one's really thick as it goes up. This big old redwood's got a deer mount on the side of it. Let's see if I can find that for you. Center frame, see that? It's like a deer head with an antler on each side. Huh. Well, we're starting on our way back out. So we finished the whole loop down there, and it's going to be uphill all the way. I'm already out of breath a little bit, but that was an awesome hike. What'd you think about it?
It was. I really liked the loop area of it the best because of the huge redwood trees. We saw a lot of monsters, and then I love all these moss covered trees. They're so pretty and just very unique.
Yeah, those were some really, really big redwoods on that loop. I still like the setting of Boy Scout. I know you're getting tired of us talking about it. Boy Scout trail. I like the setting better. It just felt more like a rainforest. But yeah, that loop had some massive trees. So I think definitely it would be worth applying for the permit and coming down here and checking it out.
It doesn't cost anything either to apply. So.
All right, we're heading back out. Good morning. Our fourth day in the park. We took about an hour drive to get to our location today. This is called Fern Canyon. This is probably one of the most popular areas in all of Redwood's national and state parks. It's a 1.1 mile walk through a beautiful canyon that's got, I think I heard 50-foot canyon walls just covered in ferns. Look at this parking lot.
We're the first ones here.
This is the advantage of getting up early. I'm actually surprised there's nobody else here because I know this parking lot will be full later on today.
And there's a campground.
Yeah, we're right on the coast. This trailhead's right on the beach. But yeah, we're looking forward to checking this out, and it's nice having the whole place to ourselves. There's the coast. All right, we've made it to the canyon. We're going to start finding our way through this canyon along this stream here. An interesting thing about this canyon is the movie Jurassic Park 2. Part of that movie was shot in this canyon, and it does kind of feel like there should be some dinosaurs maybe peeking at us around the corners up here. Look at these ferns. How high up they go.
It's called giant horsetail. This reminds me of something in a Dr. Seuss book.
Here we are. What do we got? 3/10 of a mile back to the Fern Canyon parking area. All right. Here's a view looking down into the very beginning of the canyon. So the canyon walls with all the ferns hasn't started yet. That would be back this way. You can kind of see a little bit of it. It's a beautiful area. All right, we made it back to the parking lot. I took my coat off because it's warming up and we're going to be in the sun. From this same parking lot, you can walk down to the beach, and that's what we're going to do. Well, what'd you think about Fern Canyon?
Okay, that's a must-do if you come to Redwood National Park. That's a must.
Yep, that was beautiful. It was unique. You know, so many of these hikes are kind of look the same when you're in the redwoods, but that was different, and that was awesome. And it was short, didn't take very long.
And we did feel like any time a dinosaur was going to stick its head up, it really did look like you were back in the dinosaur ages.
Yeah. All right, let's head to the beach. Never seen a seashell look like a car before. Nothing like sitting on the beach eating breakfast of champions. Blueberry Pop-Tarts and a hot cup of joe. Hey, good morning. This is our 5th and final day at Redwood National Park. The trail we're going to walk today is called the James Irvine Trail. We're not going to take it all the way to the coast, but we're going to take it a few miles back, and then we're going to hook on the Miners Ridge, I think it's called, trail and come back. I'm not sure how long this is going to be. I'm going to say somewhere in that
7-ish maybe?
Yeah, maybe 7 miles. This is supposed to be one of the better trails in this park, and yeah, we're looking forward to it. It's 8:30 in the morning, and wow, what a cool drive here, seeing those big bulls right on the side of the 101 there. We just pulled off and they were just right there, probably 30 yards from the road. They didn't have a care in the world. And then of course we saw them coming into the state park here too, there on the corner when we turned in.
Yeah, the bulls are all staying together.
Yep.
And the cows are all staying together.
Yep.
They're not commingling yet.
Nope, not yet. All right, we're ready to get started. Let's do it. So this is where we are. We're going to take the James Irvine up to here, and then we're going to turn left and get on, looks like it's the Clintonia Trail is what it is, and then it butts up with the Miners Ridge Trail, and then come back. The coast redwood is the only conifer which grows both from seed and from stump or root sprouts. Clintonia Trail north, 2.7 miles. That's what we're looking for. You saw there Fern Canyon, 4.2 miles. That's where we were yesterday.
Just hanging out.
I give you a 10.0. We're about an hour and 50 minutes into the hike, and I think we're coming up to our trail junction where we're going to dive off the James Irvine onto the Clintonia. Yep, the Clintonia Trail. The James Irvine Trail continues on that way, but we are coming up this way. And we've got, looks like 1 mile on the Clintonia Trail before we hit the Miners Ridge Trail, and that's what we'll take back to the visitor center. We have made it to the final junction of this hike, the Miners Ridge Trail. We're going to go left and make our way back to the visitor center. We're back on the James Irvine Trail. Been on the trail for, let's see, 3 hours and 15 minutes. Been a lot of fun. We'll check in with you when we get back. Well, what'd you think of that hike?
So I would say this is probably number one. And if you wanted to hike even further, it connects with Fern Canyon, which is what we did yesterday. So if you connected those two, I would say this is the number one hike, and Boy Scout would be number two.
The what was the first part of the trail called?
Oh, James Irvine.
James Irvine section was the best, in my opinion, of that 3 trail loop that we did. So I don't know. It and Boy Scout are pretty much a dead heat for me. I think maybe Boy Scout was, since it was the first one we did, maybe left a little bit more of an impression. And now that we're kind of used to seeing all the redwoods, the trails don't seem quite as good. But this one was really, really special. And I would definitely encourage you to do it. It took us about 3.5 hours to complete that hike. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. Enjoyed it. We've decided to do one more thing, and that's go see what's called the Big Tree. It's only 1/10 of a mile off of the scenic parkway that runs through this state park. And we are headed back to check it out. We're thinking that's probably it. right, we'll go ahead and do a wrap on the park. Wow. I always wondered kind of how these would compare against the sequoias that we saw about a month ago, and they're very different. These aren't nearly as big around, but they're so much taller, and unfortunately, since they're in such a dense forest, you can't really appreciate how tall they really are. At least with your eyes you can, but you can't really capture it on video. But yeah, just remarkable, and I loved the setting, just the rainforest and all the green ferns and everything. It was just phenomenal.
It's so lush, and like Trig said, so dense, and it's just life is springing everywhere.
Yeah.
Even when a tree dies, there's still life springing forth on it, and that was really neat.
It's incredible. So definitely worth making your way up here. It's a little bit out of the way, clear up in that northwestern corner of California, but it is definitely worth the effort to get here. Just highly recommend it. Beautiful. So we're getting ready to head north. We're going to cross the border over into the state of Oregon, and this will be our first time to ever be in Oregon, and we're looking forward to spending a few weeks up there and exploring that beautiful state. So you guys all take care, and we'll catch you later.
Take care.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
everybody.